Was Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson interested in the Bears head coaching position this past offseason? Let's talk about it, people. What is going on? Y'all, Fox Sports all back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate that. If you want to become a member on the channel and get a few more perks, go ahead and do so. Link in the description for that. Would appreciate the support. So where is this coming from? Well, this is coming from Albert Breer, who's an NFL reporter, and he came on ESPN 1000, and he talked about, and I'm paraphrasing here, Ben Johnson's interest in the Bears head coaching position, and he basically said that he was definitely looking at the Chicago job, and there were some people who thought that this was the job that he wanted. Now, I'll link the clip down below for you guys to go ahead and check out. I couldn't post it for copyright reasons, but my reaction to this is, wow, I can't believe Ben Johnson was legitimately interested in the Bears head coaching position. Albert Breer is a pretty good reporter, so I'm going to take his word for this that, there was interest here. And the reason I'm surprised isn't because the Bears aren't an exciting franchise with a young quarterback and, cap space and whatnot. It's just the fact that, hey, it's a division rival. There's obviously so many other teams that you could look at. So to me, it's interesting that Chicago was a team that he's interested in. And Ben Johnson's been turning down head coaching positions for a while now. He could easily be a head coach in this league. He is choosing by his own willpower to stay in Detroit. Now, I think Ben Johnson knows there's no shot, but he's becoming the Detroit Lions head coach unless Dan Campbell resigns, because they're not firing him. He's not going anywhere. So it is about, Ben Johnson getting available and this offseason and looking at jobs that are available. And more so, to me, this basically confirms the mistake that we made in keeping Matt Eberflus. If you guys remember, there was a lot of chatter before the draft this past offseason on whether or not the Bears would retain Matt Eberflus. Ryan Poles ended up doing so, citing the fact that, hey, they made some improvements at the end of last season, won 7 games, the defense looked good, so I like the culture this guy's bringing in, and I'm going to go ahead and keep him around. And that's been his guy since day one. Matt Eberflus is not the answer long-term, man. A great defensive coordinator, not a head coach. Not head coaching material. And I wish we would have had an offensive head coach that was paired up with Caleb Williams when he got drafted. Now, here's the problem. I love Ben Johnson. And, if we get Ben Johnson in this offseason, I would love it. I'd switch him off for Flus in a second. There is also that issue of, man, here we go with that cycle all over again of drafting a new rookie quarterback and then firing the head coach, pairing him up with the new coach that didn't draft him, and the cycle repeats. That happened with Fields, happened with Mitch, so on and so forth. So that's the part that sucks. I wish we could have just avoided this mistake by firing Flus in the first place, but all we could talk about is the now. And to me, this is what happens now. If you are Ryan Poles, you keep Flus probably till the end of the season, because the fact of the matter is an interim coach isn't probably doing anything at this point anyways, and the good head coaches are going to be available in the off season. And the Bears, I know, won't fire Flus because they just never fire coaches in season. But come off season time, unless you see some market improvement or some expectations that have been exceeded, it's time to move on from Flus, and you go get a Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson in Detroit has made Jared Goff, and Jared Goff is solid, but he's made him a borderline MVP candidate. That Detroit Lions offense is humming. They're always the perfect balance of run pass. Like, he is just so damn good at what he does. I can't imagine how good he would make this offense with Caleb Williams and the weapons we have. Now, again, we still don't have the offensive line the Lions do, so that's a different issue. But my point is, I think he would be a great head coach. He'd probably be number 1 on my list. So to me, you go after Ben Johnson this offseason. That's what you do. You fire Flus after the season, you go after him. I'm already off the Flus bandwagon. I was actually never on, so I'm done with Flus anyways. But my point is, I just don't think he's a long-term answer. So I would go after Ben Johnson in the offseason. So let's see what happens here, people. But if there's interest here from Ben Johnson, that would be awesome. Let me know what you guys think. What would you do this offseason if Ben Johnson is available and he wants a head coaching gig? Would you fire Flus? Would you keep him? What would you do? I'm firing Flus and getting Ben Johnson in a heartbeat. What say you? Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.